It took a little courage for me to decide to do this today, but I felt like it needed to be done. Hi guys, I'm Jess, and I really don't have a snappy remark to make about myself today. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me when they say going out, they don't feel safe, and I feel like over the years that has progressively gotten worse, and I'm not just talking about the Orlando shooting that happened this past weekend, I'm talking about a whole slew of things. And I will get to the Orlando thing, so please just bear with me and I'll tell you my thoughts on that whole thing. But I wanted to start and explain all the reasons why people are so concerned for America and why I'm concerned for America and why this Orlando shooting isn't the only thing that we should be talking about. We have a much bigger problem going on. I know a lot of you guys are like, Jess, shut up, you're trying to steal the LGBT thunder. And guys, I am a huge LGBT plus supporter. I love you guys. Some of my best friends are openly gay and all of that, and I support you guys 100% everything, but I want you guys to bear with me for a second and just listen to what I have to say. Because I'm terrified to go outside my door, and I want you guys to know why. In 2007, while I was in 7th grade, there was a huge mass shooting that is now the second largest mass shooting in America, and that was the Virginia Tech shootings. At the time, I was looking forward to graduating 8th grade and going into high school and going off to college. I wanted to be a veterinarian or marine biologist at the time. And the world was this huge, just open pit for me, and I just knew that I could make a difference in the world somehow, and I was only in 7th grade. And then this happened. A single man entered Virginia Tech and shot a total of 33 people. He also injured 23 in this shooting. On this day, I learned that a classroom is not exactly a safe thing to be in. I learned that I could go to school any day, and I could lose my life and hit the floor before telling my mom I loved her that day. I learned that even though I felt so safe, that I wasn't, that anybody could come in that door, look me in the eye, and shoot me in the head. That's what I learned that day in 7th grade. I became afraid to go to school, I became afraid to go to college, and I honestly felt like it wasn't something safe. And to this day, I just graduated college recently. Every day since then that I was in a classroom, I was afraid that I was going to lose my life because some psycho was going to come in with a gun and shoot me and my fellow classmates. That was the day I learned that my education wasn't as safe as I thought it was. Growing up, an activity that I loved to do was go to the movies with my friends. We would do it almost every other weekend. It was almost like a ritual that we'd go through. When a new movie came out that me and a majority of my friends wanted to go see, we'd go see it. Specifically, the summer after I graduated high school was a really big summer where we went to a lot of movies because that was the summer me and my friends were really nostalgic and we knew we weren't going to see each other anymore, so we tried to take advantage of every single moment we could together, and the movies was a great excuse to hang out. In July of 2012, a single shooter walked into a theater in Colorado and killed 12 people. He murdered 12 people in cold blood and also injured another 58. After that day, me and my friends lived in fear of going to the movies. We actually canceled a lot of our plans to even go see movies that summer and decided to stay home and watch movies or opted for movie theaters that were closer to home. To this day, I'm still afraid to go to an opening weekend at a movie because I'm afraid that someone might see me and my friends as good targets. That was the day I learned that a simple night out with my friends could turn tragic, and I had to live in fear of that every day of my life. Later that same year, I went off to college and I got a job working at a preschool. I was put on the front desk for the preschool. I was the first face you saw when you walked into that center. I was the one who greeted parents, I was the one who greeted children in the morning, and I was the one who gave directions to people who might have been lost on the grounds. A shooting took place in December of 2012, about 2 months after I got that job at that front desk of that preschool. And that was the Sandy Hook shootings, where 28 children and staff members at an elementary school in Connecticut were shot and killed, and 2 more were injured. From that day on, every time somebody came in, I was aware that I was the first face they were going to see, and it was between me and them on whether or not that they could enter that center. Every day I would run through about 10 times how fast I would be able to shut the gate and lock it, or how fast I could tackle them to the ground to keep them from entering the center so someone else could close the gate. I stood between those children and a crazed person with a gun. And even when they switched me to the classroom, where I did feel a little bit safer, still at nap time, I would sit there and think of how many children I could shield with my body in case somebody came in and decided to kill them. I learned that day that I had to live in fear of my life, as well as the countless children that I was there to take care of. Parents trusted me to watch their children, and I was going to sure as hell make sure that they stayed safe, as well as I could. Also, one thing that a lot of my friends and family have been brave enough to do is join the armed forces to protect our country. And then in 2013, a man walked into the Washington Naval Yard. He fatally shot 12 people and also injured another 8. On that day, I learned that was the second worst shooting to happen on military grounds. The other being Fort Hood, where 13 people were killed and 30 were injured just a few years prior. That day, I learned that my friends and family in the armed forces didn't just have the threat of being shot when they were sent overseas and gunned down. They also had the threat of being gunned down on American soil. That was the day I learned that nowhere was safe. But somehow I did find a safe haven, and that was at concerts, music venues, with my friends, where I could go and see my favorite artists perform. And then this past weekend happened, where Christina Grimmie, a 22-year-old singer, was shot dead at a meet and greet with her fans, in front of her fans and her family. At that moment, I realized that the voice that I heard singing my favorite songs, I could one day witness screaming their last breath. While I cried that night, not even 10 minutes away from where Christina Grimmie was shot down and took her last breath, somebody walked into a gay nightclub and killed 49 people. Some of my best friends and some people that I hold so close to my heart are part of the LGBT plus community, and I am an ally with them. And that was an attack on their community. They considered that nightclub to be a safe haven where they could express themselves and be who they truly are, and someone took advantage of that. This man targeted the LGBT community and this nightclub because 2 men kissing enraged him. 2 people expressing their love and their compassion for each other made him so mad that he felt that he had the right to go and kill 49 people and injure 53. That was the day I learned that literally nobody is safe. This weekend has broke me, and it has broke countless others. When is it going to change? The weapons used in many of these attacks were military-style guns. Why are we selling military-style guns to our citizens? Many of these shooters also had mental illnesses that families were aware of that went unchecked once they got their hands on a gun. How many more people need to die before America realizes that one of the biggest threats we have is on American soil? Don't make Americans continue to fear for their lives going out. I'm afraid to go to work most days. I'm afraid to walk out to my car because that might be my last day. I'm so tired of people growing numb to the fact that we have shootings. President Obama has had to make 14 to 18 announcements about mass shootings in America during his presidency of 8 years. And who knows where the next one's going to be? Could it be a school? Could it be a show? Could it be at a pride event? Could it be at a hospital? A park? Could it be at an event for the community? Who knows where the next one's going to be? After Sandy Hook, we said never again. Well, you know what? It has happened again and again and again. And what have we done? The lives of our American citizens are suddenly less important than gun control? How many more funerals? How many more mass shootings? How many more terrorist attacks? How many more innocent lives have to be lost before we decide that we are going to change this? And I'm not just talking about stricter gun control. I'm talking about mental health education as well. I'm talking about screening our American citizens before you let them touch a gun on if they have the capability to use it or the mentality to use it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm sorry that this was a little bit of a rant that I had, but I don't even know anymore how I'm feeling about this stuff. And somebody requested that I make a reaction video to how I felt about the shootings in Orlando and all of that. And I want you guys, everybody who's part of the LGBT community, no matter who you are, I am in full support of you. Just stay safe, everybody. Keep on your toes. And there's a lot of rumors flying around right now, so please just stay up to date and know what you're up against. And also remember that this is a no shame zone, so please nobody comment below anything, any negative comments. We are all a family on this channel and on my Tumblr, everywhere. We are a huge family, and I want you guys to know that. We are still growing from babies, but we are definitely a community that I want to have no shame. I want you guys to know that you can come to me for anything and to the other people on this channel for anything you need. My inbox is always open. Stress in a Box on Tumblr. I also have a Twitter. I don't check it as much, but you can always DM me on Twitter or Instagram, anything, and I will respond to you as soon as I see it. This world sucks, guys. And I'm hoping maybe tomorrow will be a little bit better. I gotta go back to work. Thank you for listening, for those of you who actually bared with me on this. And hopefully next time I have a happier video to share. Bye.